Who can forget seeing your very first concert? For some of you, that may have been at Merriweather Post Pavilion.
The venue has been around in Columbia for 50 years now. We have Traffic Jam Jimmy riding along that amphitheater to celebrate its big birthday. Jimmy, good morning.
Good morning there, folks. I'll tell you what, I have Gene Parker with me from Merriweather, the GM. And Gene, 50 years ago, this beautiful historic venue opened. And my first question is to you, who was the first guest that played 50 years ago?
The first guest, it was the weekend of July 14th. The general public came here July 15th, 1967. The Washington Symphony Orchestra with Van Cliburn as the special guest artist.
Wow. All right, let's go. Then they made this a rock or pop concert, okay? Let's look back at who was the first big pop rock concert that time.
Big is questionable, I guess, but Vanilla Fudge, and certainly big was Tiny Tim, despite his name.
Tiptoe through the tulip. Somebody's calling me, but you can't talk now. I don't know who that was. Anyway, sorry about that, folks. Tiny Tim and Tiptoe through the tulip. All right, now the second rock concert was a big guy. Well, that was a biggie. Tell us about that one.
It was a legendary one. Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. Now, is it true? I heard that Hendrix played here the Star Spangled Banner before he did it at Woodstock that next summer.
That is absolutely true. It's not urban legend. It is the gospel truth.
Now look at that. There it is. There is Merriweather Post Pavilion. Now what was the name come from? Where did the Merriweather Post come from?
Merriweather Post was it was from the General Foods eras. Marjorie Merriweather Post.
Okay.
And so that was a benefactor way back in the days before name and titles even were a big deal. It was a big deal here back then.
Okay, and Janis Joplin played here too. Now what's the historical thing about the Janis Joplin concert?
Oh, Janis Joplin, the reviewer on Janis Joplin, believe it or not, was the famed Carl Bernstein from the famed duo Carl Bernstein and Bob
Nixon.
Woodward from Breaking the Watergate story way back when.
That? All right, and then there was two bands that played on this stage right here, folks. It's the only time the two bands played at the same venue, right at the same time. Who was that?
It was Led Zeppelin, and believe it or not, they weren't even the headliner. They opened for, drumroll, the Who.
Oh, isn't that, man? Let me get a shot of the lawn there. I sat up there many, many times. All right, let's talk about this Saturday, the big 50th anniversary. Who's going to be here there?
Yeah, so the lawn area, the pavilion area that you are seeing shots of, that's going to be full here. July 15th is coming Saturday. Get your tickets through ticketfly.com to see Jackson Browne. He recorded Running on Empty here in 1977, coming back 40 years later for this weekend, along with, another drum roll, Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Traffic Jam Jimmy's one of his favorite performers.
Now, I was here with Willie. Now, in 78, Willie was here, and the guy that was president at the time, Jimmy Carter, joined him on stage.
Yeah, I was working. I actually was right at this aisle right here, and I remember Secret Service coming past me. And also this weekend, along with Jackson Browne and Willie Nelson, will also be Father John Misty, who actually grew up in Rockville, and Grace Potter, who had a really legendary performance here during one of our Virgin Fests a few years back. And don't forget, this weekend, Merriweather's 50th anniversary show. You can come here and you can buy this merchandise. I have a hat and I have a shirt for you too, Traffic Jam.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be here, so I'm looking forward to seeing Willie and Jackson Browne. Gene Parker, thank you for all the information. I hope you learned stuff in this week, folks, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
See you here this weekend. Ticketfly.com.
I learned a lot.
I can see Jimmy at the concert rocking out too.
Yes. We
That
expect
will still
Willie
happen.
Nelson to do a ride along this weekend. That would be pretty fun.